Alright guys, so this is a absolute masterclass. If you're a person that ever wants to play Lexi, and if you're a person that wants to play Kano, I believe this is probably one of the best games of Flesh and Blood I have seen. Period. You have seen probably a top three player of each archetype face each other at a high round at the first ever Pro Tour New Jersey. On top and on the left, we have Yuki Lee Bender from Canada, currently 9-2 on Lexi Livewire. Got a few good wins on camera so far, but at the bottom, we have the breakout star from the tournament, which was Kano, and Alexander Vor, probably the best Kano player in the whole entire world. Obviously, there are some people that are close to his skill level, but I do still believe to this day that no one touches Alexander Vor, and especially what he did at the first Pro Tour. And I remember when I was getting into Lexi at the time, this was one of the games I watched when I wanted to learn how to play Lexi against Wizard. But then now that I'm coming to play Kano, this was a game I just remember because I remember obviously just the masterclass that was put on by Alexander Vor, and going into one of the best players in the whole entire world on Lexi. This is just a phenomenal game. Now you probably don't actually know who wins this game. You can see how I'm talking, and you might be able to guess who could have won. But let's just get this started. So let's kind of break down what we at least see at the start before we start watching the video. On the top side, we have Yuki Bender playing Lexi. We have New Horizons, Tunic, Bullseye Bracers, and Perch Grapplers. So at this tournament, Yuki was on a heavy ice list. Well, I shouldn't say heavy. A higher than average ice list. You can kind of compare it to today's Fuse list build, but at the time there was a lot of Lexi decks with heavy ice, like running like 25 plus ice cards and like almost 30 blues, which really didn't produce a lot of damage. It was just a lot of disruption. You can, funny enough, even though I just said it compared to this day, a lot of the builds of Lexi now, they're actually similar to what builds were at this time, but obviously we have new cards like Insidious Chill that really hone in that fuse plan. But Yuki Bender wanted to go a little bit more aggressive and be able to pivot into the other decks at the Pro Tour. Obviously, being the Pro Tour, you see a lot of Ranger decks and being played by some of the best players in the world. So just wanting to hedge into one direction didn't seem very plausible. That's how Yuki came with this specific build. Going down to Alexander Vor. Kano was a known quantity, obviously, but the expectancy that somebody would bring it to a Pro Tour, let alone the first Pro Tour, let alone be 10-1. Who nobody would have guessed that in tournament. You ask 1,000 people, is there going to be a Kano of the Pro Tour? Maybe a few of them would have said yes. Let alone who would have said Kano be 10-1. Currently the highest record, the best record at the Pro Tour. And we see Talismanic Lens, Tunic, Metacarpal and Storm Stars, and Crucible. Obviously, the noteworthy thing being the Talismanic Lens. You see a lot of the combo versions playing Ragamuffin's Hat. Now, I do know Alexander Vor does have a interview, and I actually would be interested to see what his purpose of the Talismanic Lens would be over the Ragamuffin's Hat. Honestly, in this game, it does get used to pretty good use, but I do still think Ragamuffin's Hat is a little more consistent, and you see, even if he's playing the worst option, we do see the result. He is 10-1. I'll put on light commentary, and I'll kind of like mostly just let the match play through. I might pause at certain points just to talk about certain things. So obviously Kano would prefer to go first. I know nowadays we actually play Waning Moon into Lexi because we're mostly playing on her turn. Because a very good Lexi will rarely, and I mean rarely, let you have cards as Kano. And as Lexi, you are the aggressor. Your opponent's already strong at 30 life, and is playing like, I don't want to say a red heavy deck, but it does have a lot of reds in the deck, which can lead to a lot of awkward hands if you're able to strip them of cards. So we're going to see a Bolton Shot being loaded for +1. We see Alexander Vor thinking. he does have one card in hand, two resources, so if we want to assume it's a blue, obviously you do have 5 AB, but the cool thing about Kano is it is not like Rune Chance, it's not one instance of Arcane, it's going to be big chunks of Arcane. So really the AB1 and whatever card in Yuki's hand doesn't really matter. She can only stop one piece of AB per card. So you're going to see Kano being very, very aggressive on Yuki's turn. He's going to opt with Kano and leave it on top. So it's either no miss or a card he would rather use to set up. And we're just going to see Yuki go for the 6 card hand. Not trying to overextend to this Kano. Just trying to set up a very, very big play. I would say I don't know what card was put into the arsenal. But I'm trying to think if I would have preferred Yuki to swing there. It does appear to be a red Bolton shot, so this is coming in for 5. Go again. This is going to be a 2-card block. So, yeah, no matter what's not coming through, it does have go again. You do have a resource floating. So I guess, no, actually I can't agree with this, because the best thing that could possibly happen, it'd be like a 1-cost arrow that can come in for 6 and just get the other 2 cards, and you hope he has a 2 block and you leak 1 damage. But is that 1 damage really going to translate into something? Most likely not. Where this 6 card hand actually could translate into something. Kano does get the filter, which is nice. Alright, we're just going to see, unless I'm on for 3, this is going to be no pump. And this is going to be using the action point from Kano. So one big thing to note here, obviously, is Yuki at max can stop 1. So this is going to hit for 2. So any combo piece that Alexander Vor wants to tutor, he's going to get to tutor. Yuki just kind of has to decide, does she want to like pitch a blue and try to absorb, let's say, 3 damage throughout the turn if he plays 3 spells, or 2 damage if he plays 2 spells? Is it worth giving up a card? And I would say at this current moment, no. Um, Even if he has 2 more blues in hand, he's most likely just fishing for our combo piece to Arsenal in 2 turns. Not really this next turn. I don't believe the card that could be on top of this library would be very threatening. Now, the only thing I could really see, right, is if he goes Lessons in Lava, Tome of Aether 1, and tries to just really muster up a large turn, obviously with AB1 and Lexi not really wanting to get rid of cards. You could try to do a very, very big turn on your own turn. And obviously you get the advantage of drawing back up. So if he goes like Lessons into Tome of the Aether Wind, pitches a blue, still 2 floating, plays Tome, draws 2 more blues. Now he has 3 blues in hand, still 2 floating. The world's kind of his oyster at that point. Or he goes on like Lessons in Lava into like put Lessons in Lava on top. Or even Sonic Boom, something like that, just to kind of extend the turn, do decent chunks of damage that really can't be stopped. So let's see what Yuki decides to do here. I personally would let this go, because obviously you're not really being able to AB a certain breakpoint to where he can't get everyone. Now if you had AB2, I would be interested in ABing this, because then you stop him from getting Aether Wildfire, which would be like one of the scariest things, because he could instantly just get it and set it up for his tunic to actually be on 3, funny enough, to when he would really want to actually do this. And again, you will see a lot of people kind of not really know how to play against Kano, because at this specific tournament and a little bit before, Kano wasn't really doing a lot of stuff. It was more just you had a Kano player, and he was just a Kano player. He wasn't really a threat. But we see at the end of this tournament how much of a threat Kano did seem to be, and obviously with the release of Dynasty, he is more in the meta than not, like unlike previous metas. Another thing he is I was actually going to say Aether Swindle. Aether Swindle red will come in for 4. 5 if he wants to pump up a Crucible, but I doubt he does because he already has the 2 floating. He could go Aether Swindle for 4, At best, he will still get to op 3 and really get to scope what the next part of the game is going to be. I actually do like this. This is more of a smooth game plan overall. He's still going to have 2 cards in hand after all this. So he can actually opt something to the top if he wants and actually just Kano that off. So we're going to see Vora pitch a blue, Kano the Aether Swindle for 2. We're doing to keep note that Vora has done 3 damage this turn. In case Blazing Aether does become a possible thing, I don't believe it would, but that would be a chunk for 14 being 3 plus 4, which is 7, then another 7, which I don't hate it, especially if none of it's going to get a bead. You know that Yuki does like her hand. So this actually can lead for you to actually start doing a really nice thing with Kano, which is like using 2 cards to block when playing with 2-card hand, and slowly just keep continuously chipping. Or if you happen to draw combo beast, you can fully block with 3 cards to prevent some on hits. Now I do feel that obviously Yuki, if he wanted to block any of this, I would have just AB the first one as well, just save another 2 life and keep an additional card from being opted. But I believe if he was to throw another spell, being Alexander War, it's also most likely not getting AB'd. He's most likely just going to arsenal the card that is in his hand. I don't remember at the time if Kano was playing things like Epon, Potion of Deja Vu. And with Lexi at 33 already, the moment we can get an Aether Wildfire in the arsenal, I believe that death would come very swiftly to the Lexi pilot. I do think with AB1, I think 30 is a more even number, anywhere between 28 and 30. You're feeling very safe. Obviously, depending on how many blues you have and actually your extra resources, you can do that extra 3 damage because of things like Metacarpus Node and stuff like that. But being able to chip a little more for your combo turn, I think, is a little bit safer. He has done opting, and now he will Arsenal's card. Alright, so now we can see what he's opted. Hopefully he actually flips the hand around so we can see. Can't really tell what any of those cards are, to be honest. He kind of has them nipped and tucked. Oh, we're going to start with 3 of kind. Okay. So, could Alexander Vor realistically respond here with anything meaningful? Yuki will have 2 cards in hand. Obviously, again, this is all in the context of AB1, so realistically it doesn't matter. But this would be opportunity before Yuki has a chance to accelerate with any additional resources to start fighting back. Because obviously, the best thing to do for 3 of kind is to now you can actually sculpt your turn a little bit more. If something happens for 3 of kind and you maybe like pitch a card, get rid of a card or something here, maybe that messes up the whole entire turn. So I could see a window where Alexander Ward does react here, but I most likely think he will decide to resolve. The issue is like now Yuki is locked into just playing from the arsenal, so maybe the thing in the arsenal is like an Ice Quake or a Rain Razors. Or just another 3 of kind. I will say this though. My one issue with playing double 3 of a kind here, obviously, like I understand why you do that here. Unless you plan on like using your perch grapplers and you draw a bunch of blues, it doesn't really translate into much. Again, if you can maybe confirm damage with things like the Welton Shot, which I doubt that you could, given that you can't like play pumps from your hand. I could see the validity and I could see the explosiveness of the double 3 of a kind turn. I guess what I probably would have done is maybe just play the 3 of a kind from Arsenal and save the other one for another turn to have more consistent velocity throughout the game. But obviously, if Yuki does draw the right amount and the right set of cards, you could see a very explosive turn. Actually, I probably assume that this was a Perch Grappler turn. I vaguely remember this game. Like I remember like part of this game. But I mostly just remember like the ending. And why it's just a massacre. Is that 3 Art of Wars? Or is that just 2? There's definitely an Art of War in there somewhere. I see 3 blues, and I see a red ice card. I can't tell what that middle card is that she has her hand on. It's the only thing I can't really make out. That double channel lake. Okay, so it is confirmed to be 2 Art of Wars, not 3. So that must be a passing helix or a steering shot. Drove to 0 cost for 4s. And I think that is, I think that's the 100% thing right there. Is how many arrows can you load in arsenal. So at face value, obviously, if we're not counting actual reload, if we were to break perch grapplers with that blue, you're gonna have 1 floating. So you can send the bolt and shot in. That's 1 arrow fired. Bolter can activate 2 more times. That's gonna be 3 arrows fired. And then you can bullseye bracer in. That's another arrow fired. So that's probably 4. If we're able to get a pump, like a bolt and shot is something that gets loaded with like that bullseye bracers or like a pathing hillock hits or something, we can see additional arrows. But it looks like right now it'll probably just be 4. So we're just planning on realistically just doing a lot of damage is what we're looking at. Okay, so this is going to be the bullseye bracer turn. So we're playing 2, so all face-up arrows have go again. Alright, so we're actually going to see Voltaire loaded first with something else, so this is most likely going to be something with an auto effect like a Chilling Ice Feint or a Blizzard Bolt. That is a Frostlock, actually? Oh, I totally forgot about Frostlock. So the really cool thing about Frostlock against Kano is it is a static ability, which is the big thing. The fuse doesn't really matter. Is cards and activated abilities cost 1 additional. Would you like to pay 4 to activate Kano? I don't think you really would. So this is going to be a heavy blocking turn from Kano. And now that we have actually fused, um, obviously we do get the pump and the on hit from the Frostlock, but important that Amulet is online. So anytime Alexander would possibly try to allocate resources to something, you can punish him by cracking the Amulet of Ice and stripping him of more resources. It's coming in for 5. Um, I think the casters are forgetting that it does. Wait, why is it 4? It should be 5. Am I? Why is it 4? Perch Croppers just gives it go again. You activate Voltaire, load Frostlock and give it +1. It goes to 4. You fuse it, it goes to 5. Why is it 4? Okay, that's just a point of damage missed. That's just a point of damage missed. I don't. Unless maybe like she forgot that she activated Perch Grapplers and it's just muscle memory that she gave Frostlock go again. Ooh, oh, is he just in there? Is he in there? Oh, he's in there. Alright, he's in there. Just taking the 4. That should be 5. What was. I don't remember his ending life total. I swear, if it's like 1 or something, I'm gonna baby rage. Alright, so now we're going to Bolt and Shot. So this makes me very curious what other arrows are coming. Again, I think I identified one as Pathing Helix or Staring Shot, which is just going to be 5 damage, which doesn't really do much. But yeah, I am extremely confused why that is 4 and not 5. Alright, what are we doing here? So this is an interesting block. If he chooses to block this bolt and shot, it doesn't actually have an on-hit effect. Oh, it's also 2 damage. Oh yeah, you're eating that every single day. You only realize if it has extra. Yeah, 24 is fine. Like, so using Yuki's in range the rest of the game to any like just really heavy blue Aether Wildfire Lessons in Lava combo, which actually I don't remember. Were they playing Chain Lightning at this time? Not Chain Lightning, Fork Lightning at this time? I think they were, right? I think they were playing like Fork Lightning as like their big kill spell. I'm trying to remember. Alright, so now we have a Pathing Helix coming in for 5, should be 5. I don't, I'm trying to figure out what they're counting. I don't, I'm trying to figure out what's being discussed. Oh, I'm assuming maybe resource allocation or something. So this is, just written here, Pathing Helix obviously is just a mini bolt and shot. It just doesn't need the condition of needing to be pumped to reload. This just, as long as it hits, but you have no cards in arsenal, which is the condition of reload. You do get to put a card in arsenal. Okay, so they recognize that this is 5, but they don't recognize that I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. So this is an interesting spot for Oxenivore. I probably would block this. Because Voltaire has been loaded twice, and the only way anything else would be fired off is the Bullseye Bracer, which is absolutely lovely, because then there's no way B. Yep, 100% agree with this. It's Blue and Sonic Boom, which is actually a pretty good combo. You could always just Crucible Sonic Boom, so I'm very curious to see what those 2 cards in his hand still are. Well, he still has 4 cards in hand, which is absolutely hilarious. Now, one thing that you could think about here is cracking the ammo device and just bringing him down to like a 1-card hand so he has no ability to chip you. Obviously, this is a little bit of a looser play, but it is an idea. I believe she's looking at if she wants to crack Bullseye Bracer. Even though it's on. Oh, oh, oh. What are we thinking, Yuki? You want to crack that Bullseye Bracer, dog? Okay, so this is where we do actually crack the ammo device. Yes? Yeah, get in there. So this is stripping another card. Now, if so, here's actually the really cool thing. So Aaron might crack. He's got 1 card in hand, right? Now, if Yuki was to do something like has like another bolt and shot that could get over the hump of 3, you know, it's going to hit, reload, swing again. Something like Endless Arrow wouldn't be horrible. It would come in for 6. 5, I'm sorry. And it would come back, but I don't know if I'm interested in breaking the Bullseye Bracers for that. But that is your arm piece translating into 5 damage, which I don't think is any. That's definitely not bad. This is interesting. But also, again, this does go into that Alexander now has no way to chip in any damage. I mean, obviously, he could have like a 0 cost attack, but I don't really remember if they were playing a lot of 0 costs at the time. And she did play at a very interesting part of the chain. Oh, and what he's looking at the first lock is you cannot pitch or play cards with base cost of 0. So pretty much part of his turn could already be shut down anyway. All right. In close that turn, unfortunately, only got Kano on a 24 with a double three of a kind turn. When it comes to efficiency of a turn, it actually wasn't great. I think Kano is very, very, very happy about his current position. He's deciding if he wants to keep this card or play this card. Obviously, he is wanting to also remember his pitch stack. So maybe crucibling this just to get into his stack would be nice. He's just going to choose to keep the card and draw up on his turn. Ooh, I think I seen a Tome of Aetherwind in that hand, so... What? What? What just happened? Oh my lord. Alright, we got to back to our spot. So Sleeper is super interesting here. It shuts off the Kano ability, but it is conditionally important. It is riskily only important on the opponent's turn when they're trying to combo off. Like, yeah, there's times you can try to Kano on your own turn, try to get some value, but obviously Kano can just do the block with 2 cards, play 2 cards for value type turn, which Kano doesn't really need, but Seymour is an interesting card here. I believe Yuki was on, I think red and yellow. I want to say it was red and yellow she was on. We're going to activate Tunic. We're going to play Art of War. Okay. I mean, sequencing here probably doesn't really matter in this instance. So we're going to do +1/+1 and banish draw 2, I believe. Now he's going to have. Okay. So Yuki still has 2 cards in hand, I believe. At this current moment. Now, unless Yuki's facing lethal, I don't think you're getting any cards out of her. Why? Especially if they're attack action cards, you need it to be able to banish if that's the mode that was chosen. So if it's like an attack and a non-attack, probably just getting that through. If it's 2 non-attacks, then I don't know what's happening. So this is a very interesting port for the Kano player and what he decides to do here. This is also a turn where there's no floating resources, so there's no like free AB. I kind of what I like to say. You do have to commit a card now to the AB that's happening. Looking at Alexander Vorsa, he doesn't have any extra resources. So let's say he has 4 blues in his hand, that's 12 resources. Without like E-pods and stuff, and you're just kind of relying on Kano ability, it's not going to look amazing, especially if you end up drawing like any 1-cost spell. Let's see if he chooses to respond. So it is going to resolve, and we see a Ice Encounter being banished, and we got 2 fresh cards coming the way of Yuki Bender. So this does look like a red Sleep Dart, so that's one coming in for 6. 1 for 6, and this kind of matchup's actually pretty good. So it's a pretty good rate. Ah, that's actually interesting. So they said they spotted a 3 of a kind in Yuki Bender's hand. Firing it off now is interesting. So plus sides to firing it off now is giving like the power level of your opponent. You probably have like 2 turns max, unless you continuously just disrupt him for the rest of the game. Then you actually have a chance to win. But obviously, whenever Kano wants to respond, he's just going to respond. So it's really just saying like, oh, we're able to shut down his turns. Not really, right? Saving it is like the other option. Well, what is that really getting you? Where are the chances you reach your next pitch deck? I would say very little. But is it like a card that you play this turn, or is it a card that you like put in arsenal and play for next turn? That is the unique question that we're asking. If it was me personally, I would probably actually just fire it off and just get in there and see what happens. But I can see where this does come with a lot of risk, so let's kind of see what goes on here. We start card boot pitch. Is we playing it? It's just another Art of War. Okay. So, so I think they said that she does have a three of a kind. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's the three of a kind. Okay, so let's just break down what's happening right now. So, we're going to have 7 cards drawn this turn by Yuki Bender. 7. And everything's going to be pumped by 2, so we kind of have a Rain Razors effect. And well, we did lose 2 attack action cards, but obviously we drew a bunch. It would have been nice if she had such a play down before the three of a kind, but apparently she does not, so we're just looking to go very wide with arrows here. Now, this is a turn where a card like Endless Arrow is insane. You can see Alexander going like, man, is this what it feels like to get turn 1 Aether wildfired for a game? Oh, that's Sleep Darts coming in. See, I don't know what mode was chosen. I would assume Go Again. So that's going to be a 7 Go Again or Spinner. The boy Tyler Harris pool in the back. Just walked by. Oh, and it's a Bolton shot. So the big thing with this is obviously not the real. This is just the pure damage that's coming through. What color Rain Raiders is this? It's gonna be a red, so it's gonna be a. Oh, it's a yellow. I'm sorry. So it's gonna be 7. Sheesh. And we still got 4 cards in hand, and this is only attack number 1. Well, since the sleep dart wasn't swung, I actually do believe it actually is +1 then. So that's gonna be a very tall spell at the end. And he's just kind of taking it right because he kind of has to. He doesn't really have an on hit, so I also kind of understand that. Going to activate Ultra the second time. We're going to load a. We're going to load a. We're going to load a. Oh. Oh. What are we counting right here? What are we counting? Oh, we're doing a resource check again. We're going to load a. A. Okay, you're making me look bad here. A. Come on, please. Blizzard Bolt. Okay, so that is curious. I'm very intrigued by that. Of why we pitched a Chilling Ice Fang, and we're now putting a Blizzard Bolt in. When, if this was done the opposite order, now the rest of the turn, almost everything becomes a must block. Because in this situation, you can get Kano as low as you want. But if he's not really being disrupted, it doesn't matter, because he can just kill you whenever he wants. But I think if we would have led with the disruption and then everything after that, I think we're in a much better spot. So I'm very curious. I guess okay. I guess if I wanted to guess why, at least maybe in theory, this happened, is she wanted to guarantee damage, probe his hand, see what he would do. But I don't think there's any scenario where he ever would have blocked that anyway. Oh, this is also. Oh, this is no fuse. Okay, I understand now. This is no fuse, so this isn't just naked. It's coming for another 7, so this is 14 damage so far. Um, would you like to go to 10? I don't know how cool that would be for you, but would we like to go to 10? This is indeed a full house. So we can assume you can at max get attacked one more time. I don't see a scenario where you get attacked again, unless again Sleep Draw was given go again. But I do think we would see the turn a little bit differently played out if that was given go again. Just trying to feel like how I'm just trying to think what's the best way to block this. Oh, okay. He might be trying to go now. I don't remember where he goes in this matchup. It might be right now. So we're gonna break Talisman and then opt to a little bit of the old Draft Trag, the old Jaffa rig. What are we again without the extra resources? Cause like I said, the thing of the Ragamuffins hat does, it makes stuff like this a little bit cleaner. So I'm just trying to think what he could do. Just assuming his hands like four blues. Because like all the lines I'm thinking of involve Ragamuffins hat. Unless he's just trying to get very, very lucky off the top. Hmm. Oh, leaving them both on top. Okay, okay. There's a turn 0 kill. Hold up. Hold up. Nah, that's cap. That's cap. Hold on. Hello? Blood. Turn 0 kill. Is this a thing? Oh. Awkward. Awkward. So is this not? Hmm. Don't see any gameplay of this, but I would love to somehow see someone just clap someone, and I mean absolutely clap someone on turn 0. Hmm. I was lied to. Wait. How do I? Wait, what are some of these cards? What is Sigil of Papyrus? He's playing Blue Snapback. Red Enchanting Melody. Dude, this deck just looks like you can obviously see some of the consistencies, but like some of these cards just look weird. Like obviously this is back when Fork Lightning was a thing. Red and Murder Scolding is I mean 6 damage. That's not bad. I mean, if you get things like Reverberate and Stir the Aether Winds, and then like get like a really sick Fort Lightning, I could actually see a turn 0 kill. Does he see? I probably we probably have no way of knowing. Hmm. Oh well. Okay, I guess we have no way of finding out, but apparently this is a thing. What pro quest was it too? Hold on. I know we're deviating from the video. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to see it. Wait, Jesus. Jesus, what's happening here, dude? Alright, I don't think we're gonna get to see it. Oh, that makes me so sad. I really wanted to see a turn 0 kill. Alright, back to the video. Alright, so now we got a Sleep Dark on for 7, so this is what I like to call slightly lethal. And he finally gives him the 2 cards. It is still going to hit. I'm going to take him down to 9. So obviously we can see Crucible and a spell to go upstairs to chip Yuki down to sub 30, which is a very easy kill. Okay, so this is just a potion. Potion Deja Vu, one of the hardest cards to properly use. So initially I always just thought, oh, you can just really just make sure you hit certain things from your pitch, and that's all I really thought of it is. But I think what this card can specifically do, and this can turn to very good cards in your hand that you can play instant speed. So let's say you have something like Tome and Gaze the Ages, like one of those cards in your hand, which you really want to play those, but you can't play them instant speed, obviously. You can always just pitch the Kano, maintain party, crack Potion Deja Vu, put them on top of your deck, and then Kano it, and grab it, and be able to play it instant speed. And I think stuff like that's like really cool. We do want to remember that Oxygen Board did Kano both 2 things, not Kano, Talismanic Land 2 things to the top. Boy, what's up with all these Bolton shots just being in the arsenal? You getting clapped that hard, Yuki man? You getting clapped? That is that is unfortunate. Like the incidental frostbites would be actually very helpful. We're gonna see a challenge like Frigid pitched. So activating Voltaire. What are we doing? What are we doing? What we got in? Where we at him? Bring him out. Ooh, a pathing looks okay, okay. That is just unfortunate. It's like all these cards own hit effect, reload effects. She's only gotten whenever she's had another card in the arsenal. That hit? I seen some life totals change. Okay. Another sleep dart coming in for lethal. So what this is, and the reason why, how, literally how. Please find my spot. Oh, you're just so gross. Oh, I found it. Hold on. So the reason why that the sleep start's pretty good is not even the effect at this point. Now, Kano does have to do something because this is lethal, right? If this was like a yellow one coming in for 4, you could see Kano go down to 1, but still be alive, and you can always kill someone. Unless you're at 0, you're not dead. But this coming for 5 means Kano does have to either act now or start blocking. Ooh, we're gonna see a block for 3, taking 2. What in the world? Y'all seen that, right? Huh? What's going on right here? Alright, we're gonna see another chip down. Alright, cool. I think that just permanently messed. There we go. Oh. There we go. Alright, I would love to see like an E-pot here if it was played at the time. Ooh, oh, it's another percentage view. Gross. Snapback for 4? Okay, understandable. Again, this is at max double hang for 3, so this is makes you can get on to 30, which again is a very simple kill. At least as of right now. At this time, I don't know how simple the kill would have been. So pretty much for the rest of the game, which is probably not much else, right? Is we got to realistically just track the pitch zone of Alexander War. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can get a good free string, because I think I just seen Aether Wildfire. Which means if the card in Arsenal is Aether Wildfire, there could be some big Aether Wildfire. Looks like a Gaze Ages is one of them. Alright, it's gonna be another. Jesus, dude, do we stop? We stop revealing Bolton shots. She's just really getting unlucky with this. Alright, we're gonna see Voltaire. Ooh, okay. So, yeah, we're gonna need to see Kano go here. And let me give you guys a little bit of a hint. Kano goes here. So we're gonna be watching all this from the perspective of Alexander Vor, and watch the actual absolute masterclass. Let's literally look at every single decision he makes. So to start off, we have a card in Arsenal that's already been used. We have a Tunic at 3, Metacarpus Node at the ready, Crucible at the ready, Storm Charge at the ready. Some of the neat, key notable cards, we do know 2 Lessons Lava or in the graveyard. We see 2 Snapbacks there as well. And then just more, just a bunch of like blue and red spells. Like I said, Aether's one will be like one of the highest damage ones still there. So that's what we know going into the turn. And we can vaguely assume that like this is lethal this turn, even with every card being used. So we're gonna see I have Fitted being used, which is probably one of the best things you can see. Just getting able to freely opt before you actually Kano. I didn't really get to see what cards were revealed there. You just, you just look at, this is every Kano opponent, by the way. This is gonna be every Kano opponent for like the next 20 minutes. Look at look at that. Look. It's just like, am I dead yet? No. Alright, 5 minutes later. Am I dead yet? No. Okay, 5 minutes later. Am I dead yet? No. Alright, we see one top, one bottom. Blazing Aether? Okay. So we have Blazing Aether, Banish. Alright, we're in there. Alright. We found our second biggest piece here. We're going to Crucible, it appears, right? Oh no, Kano. Yeah, same just Crucible. We're going to Kano. We do need to see a draw spell. So for Blazing Aether to naturally kill by itself without any pumps, we will need to see at least 15 damage done without any pumps on the Blazing Aether. See Snapback, which is fine. I mean, it's a decent damage spell, but cost 1, we really don't want to use resources. Whoa, is that? Oh, wait a minute. Did wait? I don't know if this is not something. Did he have 2 reds in his hand? Oh wow. Oh wow. And Gaze the Ages. Alright. So literally nothing besides a tome could have been better. So what we're doing here is because we want to play this Gaze the Ages, right? We want to get this in our hand. But the only way we can get this in our hands is by playing a wizard spell. What's the wizard spell we can play? Blazing Aether for absolutely free. We're going to play this at some point in the turn anyway. It doesn't really matter to the timing. So now we're going to respond to this Blazing Aether. We're going to play Gaze the Ages. We're going to opt 2 and then put it back in our hand, allowing us to Kano again. Again, if we can get the 0 cost draw spell, we're in business. Another Gaze the Ages would be cool as well. And there's the tome, so we're going to draw 2. So this is where I wanted to talk to you guys. Remember the pitch deck that we've seen. So let's kind of go back. See if we can check all the cards that's been pitched so far. So we start with Eye of Ophidia. We see Blue Zap. We see Red Aether Swindle, and I can't tell this card. It has like the same lettering thing, so it might be just another Red Aether Swindle. So we have Aether Swindle or Aether Swindle, we'll just say that it is. Zap, Eye of Ophidia as our pitch zone so far. And we will be adding Gaze the Ages to that. So you see him pausing. The reason that he's pausing is because he has the potion. If he didn't have the potion, this is just a snap, play the Tome of Aether run. But he has the chance to actually do something here. He's going to get to draw 2, so what most likely he would do here, just off the top of my head, would. Let's see. I'm trying to think because I don't remember exactly the sequence that he does. If I was to potion here, I would put the eye and the ages on the very top. No, you would want to Kano into the gaze. So I would put Aether Swindle, gaze. Actually, hold on. Because we want to opt to the bottom, reveal gaze. Right? So we want to draw 2 blues. So I would go Aether Swindle, gaze, Ivaphidia, zap. So then we could do Aether. So we could play the Tome, pitched Kano. Oh no, wait, we can't. Yeah, I'm silly. We can't put the Ivaphidia on top. For some reason I was thinking like we could play it. So, oh, this is where this is tough. Okay, so we need to put the gaze aegis on top. And I don't think anything else probably matters, right? No, we need to put that in the middle still. That still goes in the middle. So, no, I am right because you're wanting to draw. Because you're wanting to draw. Duh. So you could go. So do the stack I said. Play Tome. Draw. Eye of Ophidia. Zap. You could pitch Zap to Gaze the Ages. Play the Gaze the Ages. Up those 2 Aether Swindles to the bottom. Put the Gaze back in your hand. Where would you go from there, though? Because now you're just... I mean, you're going to have a fade, and it's going back to blind canoing after the eye. And you're going to hope to draw another draw spell. And we've still not actually done damage. We still need to do 30 damage. I'm going to be studying this, like, heavily. Because I've watched this game. But it's like, I've never really studied the game. I've just been like, oh, I'm going to watch the game. I'm studying, like, everything now. Especially this turn. This is probably the best count turn ever. Yep, so he's looking at the potion deja vu, which I will say he does crack. I will tell you does crack. So if he tomes, he's just blind drawing. If he draws like 2 reds, the game's just kind of over. But at least potion deja vu, he's guaranteeing himself blues and ways to opt, so you can actually dig further. Oh, it was Aether Wildfire. Oh my lord, it was Aether Wildfire. Oh my lord. Okay. Okay. This is going to get interesting. We could see a double Aether Wildfire turn. That is very scary. Oh, did he stack it? So if this is the way he stacked it, I believe. So he has eye zap. Okay, so he really just pitched it how he wanted it. So he would draw zap eye, Kano, use the eye of Ophidia, up the Aether Swindle to the bottom, reveal Aether Wildfire. No, this doesn't do it. No, he needs to get the gaze in his hand. I'm trying to think how he cleanly does it, at least with this stack. This stack is just weird. Yeah, that's just the way he puts it in there. Oh, no, he just changed it, but I can't really tell how he changed it. He's kind of shifted, like, a card to the... Oh, okay, this window's at the bottom of the 5, I can see. That's the only card I can really identify, then... I believe the eye is still at the top. So we're going to play Tome. We're gonna draw 2. Put it at the bottom. So he's gonna pitch the blue zap. He's gonna Kano into the gaze. Okay, so he did put the gaze third from the middle, like I suggested. And he probably put the 2 reds here. So now he probably has 2 reds. He's gonna put the Aether Swindle on the bottom, I assume. And then leave the... Oh? Wait a minute. Did he put Zap and Aether Wildfire into his hand, maybe? Because he's just... Hold on. I'm actually... Guys, even though I've watched, I'm actually just like forgetting everything. So he's going to gaze. He's just going to put on the bottom. Then maybe the card in his hand is... Maybe the card in his hand is Eye, actually. Like I originally thought. And he's just going to opt again. Put them both to the bottom. If we see one of them go to the top, we're going to assume that's the Aether Wildfire. Ooh, both going to the top? Both going to the top? Oh, both goes to the bottom. This dude. So... Wait, how do you get the third card? Trying to track his hand. So he draws 2. Then pitches 1. Oh, okay, yeah, the gaze comes back. Yeah. Just, by the way, just top deck's like a freaking monster, by the way. Another tome. That's no reason not to display this. It's not play this, right? Alright, plays the tome. Hopefully just draw 2 blues. Yeah, so we see gaze. Is that just 3 blues? I mean, obviously that's good. Boy, what happened to the commentary? So I'm very curious on what's going through his mind right now, because obviously we have 3 cards in hand. Let's assume the 3 blues, because it's highly likely. We have Storm Striders. We have 2... I do believe he has a Tunic resource from what I remember. So he can activate Kano at least twice. And then use the extra mana for like the Crucible. No, because he still needs Aether Wildfire. So 2 of his mana's tied up in Aether Wildfire, so it leaves him with 7 mana to kind of do whatever. Alright. This is hurting my brain. I'm not the one playing. Imagine being the one playing. And mind you, this has been like a long like weekend. Alright, so we see pot pitched. We find... God, I'm trying to remember... I do believe this is double Aether Wildfire, but I'm just trying to remember. Okay, real quick, I need to look. If this is Aether Wildfire right here, would it kill? Because he could go pitch a blue, Aether Wildfire for 4, let's say AB1, comes in for 3, you could Storm Charge Aether Wildfire for 7, 6 of a hit, so that's 9. So you've done 3, you've done 12. God dang it. God, Oh, forgotten brand hearts. Where's my notepad? Alright, so right now, Yuki is at 29. You Aether Wildfire for 3. You crap. Let's just say like there's no extra resources. Aether Wildfire, it does 3. Then you Crack Boots, Aether Wildfire. It's gonna come in for 7. Let's just say 6 of it hits. So it's gonna be pumped. So the thing's gonna be pumped by 9. You've done 9 so far. Then if you used to immediately Blazing Aether, it would be 9 plus another 9. So that's 18. So that's 9 plus 18, 27. So, so let's just change that math real quick. Let's just say this Aether Wildfire just straight up hits for 4. Let's just say it hits for 4. That means this Aether Wildfire gets pumped by 4. So now this Aether Wildfire actually hits for 8. And assuming this one would get, let's just say this one gets AB'd by 1 actually. Let's be a little fair. So now we've done 11 plus, being pumped by 11. That is 22. So then you have 11 plus 22, which is 33. Now, how is this? Does this math? I'm trying to think where else this math could change. So let's just say this is Aether Wildfire. Let's just go back for this into 3. But let's say the second one doesn't get a bead. Alright, because I already calculated it getting a bead, right? So let's say this one doesn't get a bead for I don't know what reason. Alright, actually no, I did that, right? Yeah, because I said the second one hit for 7. Alright? No, I didn't. That was if it also got a bead. So that's 7, so we've done 10 damage. And it's being pumped by 10 damage. Coming in for 20. So now we have 10 damage plus 20, 30. So for him to kill right now, minimum, this is what needs to happen. He's going to need to do at least 10 damage. He's going to have to do at least 10 damage with double Aether Wildfire. Which is very well possible. But I doubt it. I think he's going to need a little extra help. Again, I could be overlooking something. Obviously, any extra mana he has, like Metacarpus Nodes or Crucible, just cleans this math up again. Let's say he's actually able to just Crucible. Let's just say he only is able to Crucible. So that's going to come in for 5. Now this comes in for 4. So now this next up is going to be, obviously again, buffed by 4. Let's just say he has 1 more extra resource. Right? So now this is going to hit for 8. Okay, no, that's definitely overkill, because now this is 12 by 12. It's 24. Yeah, it's overkill. So I said this was crucibled, right? Let's just say this one's not crucibled. So then that's the 11-11 one. That's 22. Okay, so I think this is probably the most likely scenario right here. is this first Aether Wildfire is going to get with Crucible if he has at least one extra mana. It's going to come for a base of 5, it's going to AB, just go down to 4. So now this next Aether Wildfire is going to come out for 8. It's going to get AB1, go be 7. So I think this is the most likely thing to happen here. Is we're going to see, and I believe I am right here, I could be wrong of what actually happened. I was doing most of the math, just kind of doing like an exercise. So this is the most likely scenario that happens here, given like normal play patterns. Hey man, I just figured it out. Look at me go. I figured it out. You see him raise the eyebrows. The people's eyebrow. So yeah, he has exact. So let's say this is a blue right here. He could blue Crucible, Aether Wildfire for 5. With this blue right here, Storm Shards, Aether Wildfire, Blazing Aether. He has enough. The the tunic actually just makes it extremely overkill. Ooh, did I do this math? Ooh, did I do this math? Did I do this math? Hold on. So this first one hits for 3. So then, what if they say he crucibles the second one? Because he has one floating, right? I guess if he could note it, but he would have noted it already. So then the next one comes in for 4, 7, and that gets okay. It's the same math. It's the same math. It's the same math. Oh, you have an extra resource. Oh, snap back. Oh, you could definitely snap back. Do we have an extra resource? We should, right? So this snapback, I didn't even consider the snapback. So now it's just super extreme lethal. So Aether Wildfire hits for 3. That gets a bead. Aether Wildfire comes in for 7. Gets a bead. Snapback comes in for 3 plus 9. Oh god. Oh god, I fucking hate this deck. So that's gonna come in for 12. So now we have Blazing Aether. Checking what is this? 3, 6, that's 9. The 9 right here, that's 21. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. That's 9. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a second. How much damage is this? 21. Jesus Lord. Actually, let's just do this. Let's say this gets AB by 1. So now it's what? So 17, 20. So now that's 29. 20. That's 29. That's wow, dude. Okay, I forgot about the extra mana floating. He 100% snapbacks and just overkills by a bajillion here. Okay, I remember what happens. I remember. I think this is actually the thing that happens. The moment I did the math, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. get this off my screen, but high flake. Okay, here we go. So can't tell if it hit. So yeah, it hit for 6. So yeah, these wayfires are bumping it by 9. So then this is coming for 12. "12 damage, brother." Wait, 10? Oh, is that a blue snapback? Oh, I mean. Wait, what? Am I stupid? I mean, I've had a long day. This is actually New Year's night. Like, New Year's just happened. I've had a long night. Am I stupid here? Why is it 10? Because they're showing a red one. But, like, if it was blue, it would make sense. Because it'd be, okay, you know, I'm just going to assume it's blue. They just put a different picture up. So we've done 16 damage? 19 damage. Oh, that's a 28 damage blazing ether. Oh. And then it gets pumped by an additional 9. Hey, get back on the screen. So I technically did my math right. I just was calculating a red, not a blue. I do my best to break down that game for you guys, but oh my lord. If you want to see a Kano turn, that was it right there. He maximized every last resource he possibly could have and played exact. I think one misuse of resource or one rush, and this is flawed. Now, two things that could have changed this a lot. If Yuki has no room boots, this changes a massive, and I mean massive portion. Let's just talk about how this whole entire turn change. Let's just still keep Yuki at 29. Let's just say she has 8v2. Which obviously it would change the things he does, but let's just say he still plays these 4 spells in the turn. So now Aether Wildfire is going to hit for 2. Yeah, it's not great, right? And I believe Yuki had... Hold on, let me see. Yeah, Yuki had 1 floating mana and then a card in hand. So that's 4 resources, so yeah, I can AB2 twice. So it'll be these first 2 spells that get AB'd. So now, we have it being 4 goes up to 6. It's going to only hit for 4, unfortunately. So now, this blue Sonic Boom is only going to hit for a measly 7. Because 1 plus 6 is 7. So now, very unfortunate for us. So Blazing Aether is going to hit for a massive, and I just mean massive. We have 13 here. And we have 6. So this is going to be 19. So now, we have 13. Wait, is this still lethal actually? Wait, is it actually still lethal with AB2? Okay, it's not overkill by a significant amount. It was my point, but I actually think this is still lethal, funny enough. Wait, hold on, let me see. Huh. That's fine, it's still lethal. So even through AB2, it was dead. And the thing is, these didn't even hit that hard. I think the whole key to this turn was the fact that Blue Snapback was played. I think you minus on Blue Snapback and keep everything else the same. This turn just does not happen. So this is going to hit for 6, right? We're going to hit for 6 this turn. It's going to be pumped by 6. It's going to be 12. So now we're just going to have, unfortunately, 6 plus 12. It's only 18. Yuki's gonna live with 11. If there was AB2, which is insane. Now let's also do the math once again. We've seen it was actually a yellow, so at max only 3 of the damage can be AB. So let's say the first 2 go here. Let's say the first 2 goes here, because this is the best place to do is the first one. So we're gonna AB. It's gonna hit for 2. So this next one is gonna get pumped, but only one of it's gonna get AB'd. So this is gonna hit for 5. You've done 7 damage. This is gonna get pumped by 7. It's gonna go to 14. So now we look here. We've done 7. We've done 14. Unfortunately, let's do the math together, ladies and gentlemen. 21. You see, we're just obviously either the AB2 just one time, or not having the blue snapback or the additional spell changes this whole entire turn. This is what I'm saying. The math was absolutely perfect. And I'll be honest, I probably would have used this mana on like Metacarpus Node or Crucible. I probably wouldn't have snapped back because I was like, I need to pump my Crucibles, my Aether Wildfires rather. But obviously, that is just significantly more damage. This game was absolutely bonkers, guys. I know I definitely learned a few things when it comes to sequencing, and I trust you guys did too. Wow.